Hello, welcome to episode 18. Today I want to start with lesson 152, and I want to share a rather personal experience I've had today with deepening. Deepening with a course, deepening with the oneness, deepening with my friend and partner, Dov Fishman. So, as many of you know, we do a class together on Tuesday nights called Join Us for Present Happiness, Tuesdays with Dov and Roslyn. And Dov chose this lesson to teach us tonight. The power of decision is my own. Now, I've been kind of skirting around this apparent conflict between non-duality and A Course in Miracles. I've kind of mentioned it, and you could tell if you've listened to all my episodes that I've had a little bit of conflict within me between you could call it the levels of A Course, where I've mentioned the Course tells us to choose again, and other passages in the Course where it says the script is written or it's already done, there's nothing to do. But it kind of came to a head today. I've done the Course for since the late 80s, almost consistently. But non-duality started in 1995, and I've had a little trouble putting them completely together. And now it's getting more and more integrated. And I want to share that process with you. So there was a little bit of a gulp privately inside me when Dov said he wanted to do this tomorrow night, because what will I say? Because for me, the power of decision is my own. That speaks to a personal self. And Dov also mentioned in our private conversation, and I don't think he'd mind my saying it here, is that maybe we should ask people what they're working on and how it's going. And what I ask myself, am I working on? It's noticing the personal self wherever it shows up and allowing it to just fade with the awareness of it, not do anything about it. So when I have a personal reaction, I don't judge it. I'm one with it, and I know that it's an opening, but it's also like a little bit of a fire alert, if you will, to the personal reaction shows me I'm in the personal self. So what was my dilemma when Dov said he was going to do this lesson? Well, who is deciding? The power of my decision is my own. Who's the my own? Non-duality in the American way does not emphasize there is no chooser. But when you get more deeply into it, it's always there by the really genuine teachers. I'm sure there are some hybrids around, because there always are when things get popular, and non-duality is getting more popular. But speaking of popularity, that is the reason that, whether consciously or unconsciously, teachers don't emphasize that there is no personal self and there is no chooser. That is not very popular. And it's not even that people don't like it, they don't. but they don't know what to do with it. And it's so new and it's not good news. You know, most of us have felt like we were unworthy or not good enough, but there has been the promise in the separate self that we might be good enough soon. It just around the corner with the next doing, it's all possible, or with God's help or the Holy Spirit's help, or if I pray harder or put it on the altar or whatever, choose again, I might be good enough. So to tell me there's no good and there's no bad, there's just being. Most of us are kind of adrenaline junkies. We like more and more. We like intensity. Many of us have had addictions. I know I have. I love chocolate. I love food. I love to have too much. I love coffee. Not so much on that depressant things like alcohol that settle you down. I like to be zooped up. And when I was younger, I was addicted to amphetamines. I liked that feeling of more. Perhaps I have too sedentary a disposition, and so I like the antidote. Well, getting back to this, what was my discovery? What was my discovery? Let's look at the lesson. No one can suffer loss unless it be his own decision. No one suffers pain except his choice elects this state for him. No one can grieve, nor fear, nor think himself sick unless these are the outcomes that he wants. And no one dies without his own consent. Nothing occurs but represents your wish, and nothing is omitted that you choose. Here is your world, complete in all details. Here is its whole reality for you, and it's only here salvation is. So, what came to me now, today, is that this is the Course speaking to us in the dream. This is the Course that's speaking to us through time and space. We don't talk to each other without using time and space. Talk to you later, we say on the phone. See ya. We refer to the past all the time. Matter of fact, yesterday, I received a powerful teaching from my own teaching yesterday. Sometimes I come along as the witness. I don't actually feel like the teacher. And you're welcome to join anytime on a Monday, twice a month, free class in non-duality. We meditate and we ask questions and answers. And we sometimes do an exercise. It's the first and third Monday of every month. And you can contact me if you want to come. But this was not meant as an advertisement, just as for you to know that you are not excluded. Anyway, yesterday I had not an idea at all of what I was going to do in the class. And I know that I can meditate at any time because Spirit leads that. And I'll be told what to say, but usually I have an idea a few minutes ahead, maybe. But the only word I had yesterday was no memory. Now, memory is precisely time and space. And I might fool myself thinking that I live from oneness, but there are gaps in that. And when I have a gap, I'm in time and space. And so, of course, I need A Course in Miracles. Of course, I need to hear these words that take me from time and space into that last sentence. So that whole paragraph was about time and space until the last sentence. And it says, and it is only here salvation is. So salvation is in another reality. Those two realities actually never meet. We're in one and then we're in the other. And hopefully we travel smoothly between the realities. They aren't really different worlds. They're only worlds inside our head. And they might as well be different worlds because the realities are so different. So what's the difference? What's the difference between choose again, or if I'm going to choose again, then I might as well understand that I am a powerful chooser. And it's so beautiful the way the Course leads us in knowing we're powerful rather than this victim that we have believed that we are. It leads us to become more powerful choosers and makes us aware, like The Secret did some years ago, that we're capable of manifesting and that we're like transmitters. So we better clean up our thinking because we're going to get more of whatever we're thinking. And so thank God for A Course in Miracles. Thank God for the Enneagram or anything that gives us a tool when we're in crazy land of time and space. That's the dream. Now, non-duality says even the dream is part of the oneness. So we can relax. We are not the chooser. We are not the personal self. What are we? What are we? We are what witnesses, what is aware of that kooky self, that kooky dream that thinks it's a chooser, that can separate, that can see you and me and you different from me. As Dove always tells us, as the Course tells him, sameness is our ticket. Neutrality is our ticket. When we're in lack, when we're in need, when we're in preference to this over that, we're in time and space. And that's what settled down for me today. I can't pretend that I'm never in time and space, nor should I be. I can't interact in this world. My husband says, do you want to invite the neighbors that just moved in over? Yes or no? Well, if I say yes, that means the morning will be with them. If I say no, I get to work on my book. It's not really my book, it's the book. So on one level in time and space, I answer him yes or no. Non-duality fits in with lesson 158, where it says, it is written. You are the one. Nothing of linear time that seems to be thought, said, done, or imagined has anything to do with our eternal oneness. And there's nothing to be done. And isn't that the holy instant when we realize there's nothing to be done. We are one with the one. And I love that A Course speaks, and this is only today, that I love the word Father. In the beginning, for the first 30 years or so, I did love that this Course spoke to me in terms of a father. And then for recent times, that word Father was a little bit off-putting to me, and I should have noticed that. Well, I did notice it, but it didn't stop by noticing. It was a little off-putting because I felt like it encouraged that personal self. If there's a father, then there's a son, then there's a daughter, there's a family, and that's all extremely personal. But thank God there's something that speaks to us, because when we're in time and space, that means we're in separation. That means we're in insecurity. That means we're in a vulnerability that's not what the Course is talking about when it says we can be defenseless. It's a vulnerability that's looking to be filled, that's looking to be covered up, that's looking to take care of an insecurity that is imagined. And it's imagined because we're believing in worthlessness. We're believing that we killed a god or did something awful that we can't even name. And in reality, it can't be done. So there is no sin. It's not even missing the mark. It's just nothing has happened except in our imagination. And imagination is a terrific word for referring to thoughts and feelings. So before we do our meditation today and just let go of thoughts and feelings, I definitely want to thank Doug Fishman, not only for inviting me to do this radio show and YouTube channel, but for pursuing and his perseverance, let's say, with the Course and with these lessons, especially repeating lesson 152 and his other lesson of it's all for the good. The good, my good, is the step before the good. And the good is the step before isness. And thankfully, the Course speaks to us on every psychological and spiritual vulnerability that we have. And it's a life rope, it's a life raft when we have been drowning in imagination of unworthiness. So right now, let's take a deep breath and exhale any thoughts of unworthiness. Let's exhale any feelings of doubt and lack and need. Let's inhale oneness and exhale fragility, the kind of fragility that's looking for a cover-up. We need nothing. And when we know what we are, we want nothing. And it's a funny paradox, because right then and right there, we accept everything. Doesn't mean we would have voted for it. Is this a chaotic universe, or is this all planned? You know what? It doesn't matter. Who wants to know that? Only the separate ego, the separate self, the personal self. The personal self wants to say that it is written. The script is completely written. The personal self wants it to be a personal curriculum for me, my good. I know it says that, but does it mean that? It means a lot of different things in the Course. More and more, as I deepen with oneness, as I relax and spend more time inhabiting and expanding in oneness, I can be happy being like the weather. It doesn't need to have a purpose. Do you think every storm has a purpose? Perhaps it does in the balance of the ecosystems and so on. But it's not personal to those trees, I don't think. And that those insects and those inhabitants of the forest, it's more what needs to happen with everyone, not personally, but everyone, meaning all parts of the earth considered. And then a certain chemistry, a certain physics, a certain weather conditions happen. I'm okay with chaos. I'm okay with a plan that's for all. Right now, it doesn't seem to serve my expansion to believe that I'm supposed to be more personal in my reactions. However, what about you? Do you pay attention to each of your reactions? I know that that opens to allowing. If I notice there's a constriction, then I open to that constriction. Let's do that now. Let's do a body scan and see if there's a constriction anywhere. Let's go everything of what I said and what you've been thinking, what you've been feeling, and just allow it to be without a good or a bad or a category of kind or attack, just isness. Let's just open to isness. Isness is all there is. No past, no future, only freedom. And I'm going to leave you with that thought that freedom is in this radical now, this now without a story of a past and a future. I send you all my love and thank you for yours. I have received it.